and I'm listening to all these comments. I can't see anyone, but I'm listening to all these comments, and it just warms my heart. I wanted to pull, if I could take a minute, just to pull back the curtain a little bit and talk about how films like this get out there in the world. You know, a lot of people assume that when a film goes on to PBS, that PBS pays for it, and actually it's quite the opposite. So films like this were independently made. We raise money for the film, to edit it, to deliver it, which means, like I talked about, color correcting and sound editing. And then it even costs money to do outreach, to encourage the station managers to program the film. When I worked on Lives Well Lived, we reached 97% of the country and had 1,500 air dates, which was amazing, and they re-signed the film. So we're in like Flynn with this film because they love it. So we're working right now trying to find underwriters, which are individual families, companies who help sponsor the film on PBS to have it reach the millions of people that we know we need to reach with Alan's message of joy and healing. And so, you know, there's really a whole community behind what we're doing, and that's really what we're building on. And we've had over 100 people donate so far to support the film, so we're always looking for more people to help us get it to the finish line, to help us get all the things done, to have all the captioning done, all the archival rights, all the color correcting. I know there's going to be a slide up there, but we would love your support. And if you know an organization or a company that wants to help support it, that would be amazing. I mean, one of the things that we are working on right now is a discussion guide for the film. There was some talk about, you know, what happens, okay, we show the film, but how do we make this into something more than just a film screening? And part of it is having a guided discussion guide and giving some real concrete examples of what you can do to bring more joy and humor into your life. So that's what we're working on. And I also, just a little update, we just got into another film festival, so we're in 3 film festivals so far. The Nevada City Film Festival, which is coming up at the end of June, the Maine International Film Festival, which is in July, and the Gig Harbor Film Festival just outside of Seattle in September. So we've got a lot of momentum going, and I'm just so grateful to be part of all of this.
Sky, one thing you left out that really surprised me is you've hired 2 people so far. One with the outreach to try to get corporations and companies to sponsor the film, and the other is there's somebody who, they had funny kind of titles, but they know what films are appropriate for what PBS stations, and so they connect this film to PBS stations all around the country.
Yes, so a social impact coordinator is the person that's doing our social impact and trying to find people to help fund our films. And a station relations manager is the other title of the person that reaches out to all the PBS stations to say, this is a film that you should really program.
Yeah, and the interesting thing you told me is that once it gets on PBS stations, depending on how many and how often they show it, this could be shown to 3 million people. So, and also I want, a number of people in the audience have donated to the film. I really want to thank you, because it helps us get to this point. There's still a lot to go, as you just heard, but really, really grateful. Thank you.
Two more comments or questions, and then I think we'll have some closing reflections here. This is really a moot point, but Alan and Sky, you set me up. This is Tina Miller. Hi, Sky.
And one of our cheerleaders, thank you.
And my question, Alan, was, is there still a need for financial supporters? And all of that's been answered.
Yeah, like Sky told me, just the color correction is $15,000. That's what it, you know, that, and then I don't know what the other costs are, but yeah.
I just wanted to say, Ellen, you speak so much from the heart, and the work is so much from the heart. And I was a children's hospital clown for 11 years. And one thing I learned right off the bat, that it's not about trying to be funny. And without an openness of the spirit and the body and the heart for the desire for connection, its humor comes from connection. It's so mysterious how that happens, but that's the first heart, and I think that's what's so loving and full about your work, is that that's the heart of it. The humor comes secondary to the love.
And a number of other speakers today talked about the connection, the bonding that's necessary maybe before you try any humor. Yeah, exactly.
Since I have the microphone, I want to steal the last question. Quick story, I don't know if you remember this. 4 or 5 years ago, I was completing my dissertation on the population with treatment-resistant depression. And it didn't feel right studying that population without offering something, in response to donating the time. So I asked Alan if he would sign some of his books, because it's not bribery if what you're giving them is priceless. But within 5 days, they were on my doorstep, and you had signed all of them. You had wrote a beautiful inscription, and for privacy reasons, I can't forward you the emails that they sent, but I wish I could because they were so beautiful. I'm glad I gifted it to them afterwards, because it would have tainted my data, because it definitely helped their depression, but that was such a beautiful gesture on your part. I had the pleasure of sitting next to you while watching this and still seeing your face light up in certain parts, even, you said, watching it 60 times.
You know, every time I tell that camp story, I tear up.
Most of us know you well enough to know that this is not your swan song documentary, but just what is it like to watch this? What is it like to watch what you've accomplished so far, knowing that you still have more to do?
Yeah, I have to pinch myself that this has happened. I mean, I don't have words. It's like, oh my God, how did this happen? And near the end of my life, I know that. I don't know, I'm just so grateful to Sky and Jeannie, because without them, this wouldn't happen, particularly Sky. And I'm just so, and all of this came out of the loss of my life, right? So added tragedy, some people would say tragedy, 3 million people may help them change their life. You never know, you never know. Trust, we talked about trust.
Okay, one last donation question. Is it a 501c3 to be able to donate, since it is through PBS?
We have a fiscal sponsor called From the Heart Productions. So if you go to our website and you need to make a tax deductible donation, you can donate through our fiscal sponsor, From the Heart Productions.
Yeah, and I should say, I know all of you want to rush me afterwards and just throw $100 bills and checks and something. I cannot accept it. Thank you, but I can't accept it. It's gotta go through the fiscal sponsor, so that.
Well, you can accept it if they write a check to From the Heart Productions and put in the memo, the Jollytologist, and then we can send them all in. Or you can just go on, very easy to
But
just
cash
go online.
just came up, it looks like a $100 bill? I didn't see it. Yeah, so you need a, I don't know what, but thank you. But we're just grateful for it all, just incredible.
So if I may, good evening. I am here. Good evening. So this is my first conference, and my name is Anita Dorchak. I'm from Canada. I'm so happy and so honored to be here. Thank you so much for the film, to all of you. It's absolutely wonderful. I also teared up, and I think when there is so much pain, humor is wonderful. But my question is this. I'd like to take you back in time, more than 88 years, and tell us where your parents were born and where your grandparents were born. That's my question. Thank you.
So my parents were born in this country. My grandparents on my mother's side was from Hungary. And in fact, David and I visited Hungary several years ago because I wanted to see my heritage. And they had a press conference. Everything was in Hungarian. And so I had no idea what they were saying. And I would tell a story or a joke, and the translator but I could only tell part, and then translate it in Hungarian, and then the end of the joke, and often fell flat because it just didn't flow. But it was so great to see my heritage, and they just treated me great. My father's side was from Germany at the time, German Empire, I guess. He was much more serious. He would always see the glasses half empty, and my mother was the one that I kind of got my humor and joy, and just she was so incredible. So.
Let me ask Jamie if there are any additional final thoughts that you want to add. We haven't heard from you in a moment.
Oh wow, that's a heavy question. Final thoughts. I don't know. Well, I guess. Are there any other interesting celebrity run-ins that you've had?
Yeah, because when I was designing for CBS, like I was flown out from New York to Hollywood, and we always flew first class, which was nice. And I was sitting next to Jose Ferrer, you know, the movie actor. And I was, believe it or not, I was really shy. I was shy at that time. And so we sat there for a couple of hours, and I would not talk to him. He was sitting right here. So what am I going to say? Like he was in Moulin Rouge, like, I loved you when you were on your knees. You know, I wasn't going to say that. And the movie came on, and within 10 minutes we looked at each other, and we said, "Isn't that a terrible movie?" And we started talking. And I found out before he was an actor, he wanted to be a scenic designer. So for the rest of the flight, we talked, and then he gave me his card and said, "Call me, let's go to dinner." One of my very few regrets in the life, I didn't call him because I was too shy, and I thought, what am I going to talk about for another 2 to 3 hours? But, yeah.
Sky, how about you? Any final thoughts or words for our audience tonight?
Well, I would just say, and I'm sorry I don't have my red nose, I usually have it, but it's in the other room, and my partner is sleeping right now, so I couldn't grab it. But you know, just take Alan's message out there in the world, spread the joy, spread the humor. Reach out to us if you want to do community and educational screenings. We really want to get this film out there in the world, and I am so grateful to this amazing team that I have had to work with, from Alan, whose story is incredible, to Jamie, to our director of photography, Prasad Achita, to all the interns and all the people that work behind the scenes. So many people. It takes a village to make this happen, and I'm just so grateful that it's all come together, and grateful to all of you for being there this evening, and for being a part of this. So thank you.
Will there be any, will you be sharing any contact information or follow-up resources with us?
I think there's a slide, but if people go to the website, which is just thejollyfilm.com, pretty easy to remember, there's an email that people address on there that people can reach out. My email is skybergmanproductions@gmail.com, but if you email directly from the website, that's a good way to contact us.
Plus, Guy, there are some handouts on the table that people can take away. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Alan, I'm going to give you the last word. Any thoughts that you want to leave our audience with?
Keep it light.
Yeah.
I want to thank all of you. I want to thank our audience for being here tonight, and I want you to know that Jamie and Alan are going to stay around for hugs and any other words. And thank you for making this such a wonderful evening.
Thank you.